Okay, topic 3, which is our 2019 predictions. And I will start it off. I did not put SM girl group prediction this year.
Will you put
I think it'll happen,
one?
but I didn't actually make it a prediction because I didn't want to just repeat the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's the
until
thing.
it happened.
That's the thing with 2019 predictions. No layups whatsoever. You can't say like SM will release music.
Yeah.
Well, Jacob kind of put one of those super vague.
Lord.
His number 2 is super vague.
Oh God. Okay, fine. Okay.
But whatever. We'll get there. Okay. For my first prediction is 3 Racha will start producing for other JYP artists, including Twice.
For the love of God. For the love of God,
I think
let this be true.
the first part of this I think is pretty likely. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they like produce something for like GOT7. But them producing for Twice is more of like a wish.
Dude, that'd be so
than
cool.
anything else.
Because
Give
But
like
it would be so
give us
cool.
like a Daebak Cheong like rap breakdown.
Yes,
Would be so
like
cool.
the JYP special, like that like collaboration stage that they had, where it's just like oh my God, I'm like
there
Cheong,
was a JYP rap line stage.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Cheong
Cheong was the only one.
Jay was rapping that. Like what?
He was like Cheong, like Stray Kids.
Changbin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Young K was there,
yeah.
except he looked like he did not want to be there.
and Day 6 had to do choreography, which is another thing on its own. But I mean, I could see it happening. I could definitely see it happening, or I could see them like being like a chameleon, or I could see them maybe tailoring their style to maybe a more.
I think they definitely would if they were given that task.
I don't think they're putting out like full 3 Racha style.
I mean, I would not
for
complain.
Twice,
I would not complain.
But, no, I wouldn't either. But I don't think they'll do it if they do produce for Twice.
Like give me a like Changbin Jisung style rap from
No, just put
Changbin.
Just put Changbin as the feature on the just for no reason whatsoever. Just put Changbin
he just
on
goes
there.
in on a Twice song. That'd be hilarious.
And no, if 3 Racha is the vehicle by which we get like Girl Crush Twice, I am so for it. I am so for it. Like,
sure.
100%.
My next prediction is another one that's more of a wish than anything. But I said SNSD will release a mini album as a full group of 8.
Jeez.
I think
and have promotion because
the fact
sucks.
that they've constantly mentioned that they're still like Sooyoung and Tiffany and Soyeon have made it clear they're still in the group.
And they meet up with each other a lot still. So
yeah, so
I mean, Hyoyeon and
like,
Sooyoung were both in Tichu.
in Tiffany's music video. Yeah, so they've made it clear they're still part of the group. So like, it's definitely going to happen eventually, and I think my wish is that it'll happen this year. Basically,
I mean,
Tiffany implied that they would do it like sooner rather than later. So who knows?
The spiciest prediction would be.
I'm not going to get my hopes up, but
the spicier prediction would be OT9.
Because
that's not going to happen.
I mean, there was some evidence. I think like one of the members liked to post
did.
about Yuri liked to post about like talking to or like do music with Jessica or something in the future, and she liked it or whatever. But I mean, you can't always read into those because you don't know how many like freaking like NFL or NBA posts where they're like, oh my God, someone liked this comment, which means they're going to the Lakers or something. Like you can't read into that all the time.
Yeah.
Because like celebrities are just fucking with you after a certain point. So.
Yeah, I feel like if I was in that position, I would definitely like just fuck with fans by liking random comments,
liking random things about random people.
Yeah.
And finally, my sad prediction. I think Uju Sonyo's Chinese line will leave in March, and Yehua will start pre-debut promotions for a Chinese girl group that will main feature Cheng Zhao and then Miki and Shani when they come back.
Boo!
It's pretty obvious. Please like don't.
For the love of God, don't take my bias away.
Sure, Cheng Zhao is like making Chinese drama or whatever, but like that doesn't mean like she they've had 2 comebacks in a row without her coming back. Like the fact that that's also happening right before their contracts are up in March, like it's super obvious. Like
Also, don't.
I don't know why.
don't put Cheyenne in that group. I don't want it. Don't do it. I don't want her to be in China.
That'd be funny. That'd be super
like
funny.
She's a Korean trainee, but then they like put her in a Chinese group, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, she's
you mean in the China? Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, because they're all technically they're all technically under the same.
I think Yehua is making a K-pop group on top.
Yeah, they're gonna make a Korean group. Yeah, that's probably that's the peace offering. They'll make the Choyena group, and then they'll
it's obvious they're making the Chinese girl group because it's for Produce 101 China. Like they were like the Pledis where they brought in like a full girl group basically with like Miki, Johnny, and there was like 5 other trainees.
Yep.
So they basically had like a full lineup there for a girl group.
I wonder how long they've had that in mind, and I wonder if they've been planning that the entire time.
Oh, they were definitely planning that 100%. From the beginning.
If this happens, they were 100% using Starship to promote a girl group and get them popular in Korea, and then jump ship. Because it's easy to get popular in Korea and then just go to China and make.
It seems like Chinese companies do this so often.
Yeah, they bait and switch.
It's easy.
Like I said, like I was mentioning before to you guys off camera, just like this is exactly what happened to SNH48, where like Aki P goes into China. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make a AKB48 group in China. He works for the Chinese company. They get really popular, and then they're like, psych, we'll take all the money instead of like having to like work with it.
And do
they want. Yeah, they stole everything basically. So they're disassociated with AKB48 at this point. But yeah, because it makes sense. It's just like, why am I gonna share these profits with a company that's like in another country if I could just control it all on my own?
Yep.
Yeah, and it makes sense to send your trainees to Korea where they have a better system.
Yeah,
to make them more
better
skilled,
training,
and they can
provide more exposure.
Provide more exposure to Korean fans, and then jump to China where they'll become huge. So yeah, this one sucks. I don't want it to happen, but I think it will.
I really hope it doesn't.
Yep.
Okay, I'm up next, and I believe my number 1 is a spicy one. A member of Twice will announce that they are dating. So, was it how long was it ago? Like 2 or 3 months ago, where they said that the JYP's the dating ban was lifted.
It wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, it was very recent that the dating ban was lifted on Twice. And I mean, they've been associated with a bunch of rumors like over the years. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if like one of them like just instantly started dating someone, because someone who's interested in them like immediately comes out of the woodwork and starts
just like
to date them after they see the mail.
They see the article and like before the article even like finishes uploading, they're in the DMs already.
Yep.
Because like seriously, imagine the amount of clout you would get from saying I'm dating a member of Twice. Just I mean, obviously you'd get a lot of fucking hate for it too, obviously, but still, like you'd be considered a god to like most people. It's like, holy shit, you're dating a member of Twice.
Honestly, I think it's gonna end up being like really bad.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
like, well, think about when SNSD was dating like the Taeyeon and Baekhyun thing. That was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but that was more Baekhyun. It depends on who the guy is.
Yeah, I guess
I feel like that was more EXO stands.
That's the thing. I mean,
who do you SNSD stands?
If it ends up being like another like big like boy group, we're in for a mess. Like, maybe who knows? Who knows? Because the precedent has been set that it seems like most fans are sort of kind of.
I mean, if it is an idol though, like Twice fans could very easily like stockpile on whoever the guy is if he's an idol.
Definitely.
No, yeah, there'll definitely be crazy Twice fans that are pissed off too, but.
And I mean, we could get thrown a curveball, and then it turns out like Sana is just dating a girl or something like that.
Oh jeez. Yeah, no, I don't think that'll ever happen because
that's
still pretty close.
That's a character though. That she's the gay one of the group or whatever. So she pretends to be, she pretends to be the like the most intimate with the rest of them. So that'd be funny.
That would have to happen like after they disband. Either way, if that happened, like they could easily cover it up anyways. You're like, oh yeah, it's my friend.
It's my friend from Japan that you've never heard of.
Yeah, like
they wouldn't know. He's not an idol. Number 2, which is already wrong because of like 24 hours. God damn it! I mean, I wanted this. It's more of I want this to happen than wanted to predict it, but I predicted that BTS will not release music in the first half of 2019 while Big Hit focuses on the new boy group, and I'm already wrong on this because they released music.
You should have just changed it to the second half of 2019.
No, they teased music. It's not out yet.
Okay. So I'm still not wrong.
I mean, it's going to be wrong most likely.
Yeah, there's solo music coming out like in a week. So.
I still think it'd be a good idea for them to just take a break because again, we've mentioned before, like their work schedule has just been crazy for the past 3 or 4 years. They've toured just nonstop. Basically, they've gone on world tours ever since 2015. How insane is that? Basically, and like with all these like promotions and nonstop albums and everything and solo projects on the side again. It wasn't a surprise that they announced at Mama they were thinking of disbanding at the beginning of 2018. So like,
yep.
They're gonna get burned out at this rate, so I think it would be in their best interest to just like really just chill in 2019.
Yeah.
How many years are we at now? We're at 6
since they debuted, like something.
Yeah,
like,
6, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a while now. So.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if they
4.
don't last 10 years because they get burnt out.
Oh, that's
Well, I mean, they're gonna go to the army eventually, so that.
Yeah, but still though, like
I wouldn't be surprised.
Crazy how much work they're doing.
If they just because basically right now they're like BTS is like the One Direction of K-pop right now, and literally that's exactly what happened to One Direction. They just kept going and going and going and going and going and going, and then after a certain point they burnt out, and like members started leaving, and like they're like. Yeah, after a while you're gonna get sick of it. Like that's just it's human.
Yep.
Like there's only so much of BTS that they can have dominate their lives before they're just like I'm done. So that's the thing. They're either gonna like maybe like I doubt they'll ever fade into obscurity, but I could totally see them just like going out like the Beatles, like go out on a high note or whatever, and just like go into like immortality basically. Like there's no like decent end to this, unfortunately.
I mean, it's better to leave on a high note anyways, though.
Yeah, definitely. Before they like start releasing bad music, or I don't know, before they start losing fans, I guess. And number 3, this is the spiciest of my predictions, definitely. IZ*ONE will be eligible for Senbatsu Sosenkyo. So, Senbatsu Sosenkyo or the general election for AKB48 is basically all of the sister groups of AKB48. So like. All the ones in Japan, the ones in like I don't know, like Thailand or whatever. It's like all the other groups are eligible. So basically, they vote on they use voting via like. I think you get some if you're part of the fan club. If you buy the CDs, you get votes or whatever. And then the top like however many get into the next AKB48 single. And basically this is how you gauge who the most popular members are. And it's the funny thing is like the most popular members right now are outside of AKB48 proper. Like, cause again, the most popular ones was like Sakura, who was in HKT48, and then Jurina, who was in SKE48. So that's always how you get like the biggest names into like the main group. So, I mean, it's a spicy prediction, but I would not be surprised if it actually happens. Because technically speaking, I mean, IZ*ONE is like, with how serious like they seem to be taking IZ*ONE in Japan, like it wouldn't surprise me if they want to promote them by having some of the members in an AKB48 single. And I mean, it'd be a compromise for like the hardcore wotas who have been like. Who have supported people like Sakura for like the longest time, and then they're never going to be able to hear from them again. And it'd probably be a good way to appease the longtime fans who have been with them since the beginning, just to have them still show up in AKB48 singles. So,
Do you think any of the Korean members make it if they're available?
That'd be crazy.
That would be the spiciest thing.
Dude, I feel like Japanese people would be
I thought you were saying
all
of IZ*ONE. Like,
I mean, I don't know. That'd be impossible.
If like Eugene was like in an AKB48 song,
like I don't think that because if all of them would get, it'd have to be like an insane, like there'd have to be crazy people buying.
Well,
like
I'm not saying all of them, but do you think some of the Korean members will make it?
Like I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know,
like Eunbi.
Maybe Eunbi can make it.
I don't know who's popular in Japanese.
Sakura.
Sakura.
Well,
besides Sakura.
Yeah, obviously Nako and Sakura.
I bet Wonyoung's probably popular in Japan.
Popular. No, I think I know Chaewon's popular. I know my llama girl. Oh god, I'm blanking. Minju's been super popular, like in all basic, not just like among like the Japanese like populace, but among like other like 48 group members. Like every time they're on like a stage in Japan, all like the members on Twitter are like, "Oh my god, Minju's so beautiful." So like I would not surprise me if she actually has like a decent fan base in Japan that would vote for her in a Sosenkyo. So I'll have to talk to this with the guys from 48 Talk to see if they'd actually think that there would be a chance for IZ*ONE to be eligible. And we just need to collaborate with them in general too, because that's been people have asked for that too. So it's just been a long time coming. All right, that's my predictions. Hopefully something, at least one of them, comes true. Jacob, go for it.
All right, so stuff is collecting my throat. Sorry. Anyways, first prediction. So basically the first thing I said was that Tiffany Young will collaborate with a well-known American singer. I think that might be like one of the next steps. Like I could see it happening like on our EP or something if like one of the B-side tracks is featuring a well-known artist from America, or maybe a single later in the year. But I feel like she connects with enough people and I guess is starting to get into the industry enough that I think she might be able to pull something like that off. Because like, I mean, it's happened with even just like normal K-pop artists who haven't even debuted in America. So I don't think that's a stretch, especially as she's gaining traction in the US and getting like appearances on American like TV shows and YouTube channels and stuff like that for interviews. And I think as she gets her name out there, she's definitely going to make more friends in the industry, and I think that'll definitely breed more collaborations to come in the future. So
I could see it happening.
All right, up next we have, this is the one that Nate said was kind of a layup, which I want to elaborate on what I actually mean by this.
I didn't say it was a layup, but it's just like super.
But it's a layup.
Super open ended.
No, like I think we're definitely, so towards the latter half of 2018, we started seeing, especially from like SM, we're getting
SM
like English versions of songs, like NCT and Red Velvet in particular. I think as 2018 goes on, we're gonna get that at an even higher frequency. 2019, whatever. So yeah, it's like as 2019 goes on, I think we're going to see an increased frequency of that happening, rather than just a few here or there. I think it'll start to become more of a normal thing. So who knows? Maybe they'll just stop doing it because it doesn't work. So
well, I mean, hey, I think like NCT doing an English version of Regular definitely seemed like an excuse, or it seems like the catalyst for them showing up on like, I don't know, like Jimmy Kimmel or something like or stuff like that. Definitely. So I could see more of, I don't know if it's girl groups necessarily that would go for more English outside of like maybe Red Velvet, but more guy groups definitely will.
Well, I think it'll coincide with my next prediction anyways, which is so a little more, it's similar to the one we made all three of us made last year, but with a more specific thing. So I think SM will at least tease the new girl group, because again, like 5 years between FX and Red Velvet. Red Velvet's contracts are coming up in a couple years. I think it's time that they, start getting their shit together, hands in a row. And basically, I think since they have been doing more like subtle pushes in the US, I think they might make an edgier concept to like sort of reel in some international fans, because traditionally SM is usually focused on either Korean, Chinese, or Japanese markets with their groups. Like SNSD was definitely on like Korea and Japan, definitely. FX, I'd say Korea and like maybe China, because they had Victoria in the group, and like just stuff like that. So I feel like they'll definitely go for a concept, I think, that'll appeal to more like Western fans, as K-pop is getting bigger and bigger in the West. So I think that's definitely where I think they'll go with it. So
basically, you're predicting that SM makes a Blackpink, but they actually release music.
Yes, but not necessarily that sort of style. I'm thinking more like kind of like Red Velvet's edgier side, like Bad Boy, but like more edgy, I guess. Like not necessarily hip hop, but maybe like R&B or I guess like electronic, like G Idol maybe, or something like that. Something in there. I think they'll still be like experimental, like SM groups tend to be nowadays anyways.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. They can't, I don't know if they can just make an SNSD in just like the landscape of,
I don't think they want to do that anymore,
Yeah.
to be honest. Either that, like, although I think that'd be my secondary option, is that they want to make a Twice competitor.
maybe.
Yeah.
Because like JYP kind
they're
of
the only
like
ones that can do
ripped
it.
their concept for SNSD into the new generation, and I think they might be like, that's our cake. We want to,
But the thing
we
is,
want it
though,
back.
the thing is though, like, Twice has a huge head start already.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the
no,
only thing.
I don't. I think if they do that, it'll be later on. I think it'll be the
it'd have
next
to be
group
way
after
later.
this one.
Yeah, basically, like
Yeah.
like
I
it'd
wouldn't
have
be
to be like
surprised.
2020, like 5 or something like that. Basically, it'd have to be like a long time from now.
Yeah, no, I
'Cause-
think it'll be once Twice is ending their life cycle.
Yeah,
like,
because if I as big as SM is, if they tried to make a direct competitor to Twice, I don't think it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Well, let's see. So SNSD, people didn't start to leave the company till 2017. Twice debuted in 2015. I think it would be reasonable for, the competitor, if that existed, to debut like, when was that? So that's 8 years. 2023 at the earliest.
Earliest. So.
Yep, that's
I'll
my
be
prediction.
32 years old.
Oh God, please don't remind me. Please don't remind me.
Listening
Oh, that
to
would be.
16-year-old
debut
girls.
And then everyone's gonna be like, they're gonna be like 07, 08 liners or something like nonsense like
Yeah,
that.
Dude, that's
exactly,
gonna be
yeah.
so crazy
Oh,
to me.
that-
Like,
ugh.
what?
No.
Yeah, when we get a K-pop idol that was born in 2010,
Oh, I'm done.
we're
I'm done.
just-
I'm out.
that's 9 years old right now. I mean, there are trainees that were born in 2010 right now.
Oh,
if you think
Lord.
about it,
Yep.
Nah,
there are
I'm good.
100% trainees at entertainment companies
I'm
that were
good.
born in 2010.
Okay.
Okay, let's
Nate,
do
you can-
Coopers.
Yeah, you can read it
Can
off.
you do it? I don't have it up.
Oh,
So-
okay. I haven't actually read through Cooper, or I haven't read it through it in detail. So, number 1, or Cooper's, this is his first official
This
participation.
is
It's
his
truly
dream.
Yep.
Number 1,
Number 1 is his dream.
FX will have a 10th anniversary comeback and 5th full album.
SM will be that nice.
No,
Nope.
I mean,
Nope.
if anything, I could see them doing what they did with Soshi and be like, "Oh my God, it's the anniversary album," and then psych, you're
And then it's
disbanded.
1 week. 1 week of
1 week of
of
promotion, and then they all
promotion.
leave.
I mean, that would satisfy his prediction.
I guess, but
He didn't say they would be promoted. He just said
That's like-
they will have a comeback.
that's like
that
one of
is a
those-
full album.
that's
for
like
the
one of
10th
those like
anniversary.
the button things where it's
But-
like FX gets a comeback, but they disband after it. Just like, do you push
No,
the
yeah,
button?
I don't.
I'd push the button.
I don't think that's happening. Like, SNSD was still in good graces with the company. I feel like most of it, like half of FX isn't at this
Yeah.
point.
yeah, like Amber's
feel
like,
like Chris-
never
Amber's-
like there.
Amber lives
Victoria's
in the US.
in China.
Victoria lives in China. I think Crystal's pretty much on her sister's side at this point.
yeah,
Like they're just always on Instagram together and stuff. Like
Luna's
so,
like the only
Luna's
one
the
left.
only one left. So yeah, I don't think FX is ever coming back as a full group, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Although Victoria did, I think Victoria's still like in good graces with them, and like
yeah. It's just
stuff.
she's so
just making so much money in China that why would she ever leave?
yeah. Why would she leave all of that behind?
Because she did well, and Amber. I think both her and Amber left Luna messages on a recent V Live for her comeback. And
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah, so obviously they still
But-
they still love each other and care about each other. It's just they're never
Yeah.
making music together again. probably.
I think Crystal's completely out pretty much at this point.
Oh
I
yeah,
think she's,
definitely
like,
by blood
she's-
relation.
Yeah, exactly. She's just gonna like work with Jessica and probably join
Oh,
Cordell.
I would not. I
eventually.
would not be surprised if she joined Cordell.
Cordell.
That would
yeah,
be crazy.
100 if she leaves
Although if they did a
SM,
duo, that
she
would be
will,
great. I would
100%.
like that.
I'd be down for that. Damn, that like the Jung
But-
sisters doing stuff again. I miss that.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, Cooper. Sorry.
The next one's spicy.
Number 2. Oh boy,
This
this, is
is
gonna
the
piss off
spicy
a
one.
lot. This is gonna
This
piss
is
off a
the
lot of
spicy
people in
one.
our Discord. Number 2 is Dia will disband or several members will leave. Jesus Christ.
Oof.
Oh boy. I mean,
Wait, did they ever get their first win?
Yeah, they got their
Yeah, they
first
got a
win.
win.
Yeah,
Oh, they
'cause
did. Okay.
that's I guess it's in relation. Cooper made this prediction in relation to the fact that basically they said if they didn't get get a win for Woo Woo, there was a good chance that they wouldn't have released music
They
anymore.
were going to disband.
Yeah, they were going to disband because it just MBK's just like
They just weren't doing well. MBK is a garbage company though, so
yeah. But I mean, like, for as much as we rag on Daya, I would never want them to disband. I would
no,
never
I like
want them
Dai
to.
a lot.
They're IOI branch. They're secret.
Yeah, they're an
Yeah,
IO brand.
exactly.
Yeah, they're important.
As much
they're
as
important.
I don't like their music that much, but I acknowledge their importance.
Yeah, so I mean, it could happen. It could definitely happen if like they don't do well. Because like if Woo Woo was just a fluke, basically, then yeah, they're in really bad. They're in real trouble. Then if they can't
Yeah.
follow up on that success, then that it could happen. But
Yep.
I mean, basically, the only one that can't leave is like Cheon. If Cheon leaves Daya, oh, they're dead basically.
Didn't they just lose a member? Like one member?
God, I
I
forget.
thought I
think-
saw that. I don't know her name
I
though.
don't know. She'll be in the RIP list, so
Yeah.
we'll find out
Eunjin-
next part.
Yeah, she left. Eunjin left Daya because of health issues / behavior. We'll
Oh,
get to it later.
okay.
But yeah, if they hemorrhage any more members, or if they hemorrhage important members, then it could definitely happen. And Cooper's last prediction is Card will drastically change concepts to reinvigorate their fan base. I don't know how much of the fan base internationally needs invigorating, and they don't really have much of Korean fan base in general, so I don't know about this one.
Well,
Well-
I think he means like because basically at this point their fan base is entirely like Latin America.
Yeah, basically.
So like
We're-
Gain more
reinvigorating
fans.
the rest of the international fans and like trying to get Korean fans.
Hmm.
I think is what he meant.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I hope that happens because I mean that's like I don't know if this is spicy or not or whatever, but like at this point I'm just hella bored of Card. Like if we get another Tropical House song for their next comeback, I'm just done. I'm sorry, like it's run its course at this point, and like the returns are diminishing at this point. Like I looked at the like the MV views for like Right on the Wind versus like You and Me or whatever. It was like I think like You and Me had like almost like 7-8 million. Right on the Wind barely got like 2 million. So there's a noticeable like lack of interest in their music. at
I
this point.
think they'll probably see the smoking gun. So yeah.
Yeah.
The
We'll
thing is
see.
though, I don't
Or
know.
at least if they do another song in that style, at least go for the darker version. I
Yeah,
think it's
maybe.
much more successful.
Yeah, maybe. But the thing is though, would they be blinded by the success that they're getting in like the Latin America and South America regions where it's like why would we have any incentive to change when we
I
are a
think
hardcore fan base?
Basically, it's up to DSP at this point to recognize what they need to do.
Yeah. The thing is though, like that's the question with Card is can Card survive without a Korean fan base? Can they survive solely on
yeah.
an international
Lots
fan base?
lots of groups do. So
Yeah, I think they can.
like BTS until like 2015 had no Korean
basically.
fans.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, they were. I guess I don't know if they were surviving. I mean, but like, yeah, that's the interesting. That is the interesting question that will need to answer this year. Is if Card can't survive without the international or the Korean fan base, then yeah, they're. I wouldn't like how it looks, honestly, and I hate for anything to happen to them. But
I think they'll be fine. But I do agree that they need to change it up to
definitely
reinvigorate the fan base. But I
they
think even if they don't, they'll be fine just based off of their current fan base. And they could if they just keep doing Latin America tours, they'll be fine for forever.
They'll just live on Latin America. They don't even need to release
That's
new
how
music.
That's how Suju's lived the past like 3 years.
They don't even need to release new music. They just keep doing the same songs over and over again, and they just eat that shit up, basically. But yeah, no, I need to see something completely new from them, honestly.
Yep.
We have Red Velvet's Yeri and NCT's Renjun, Jeno, and Jaemin with the SM Station 3 project single Hair in the Air, which is a cover of the Trolls like television show theme song. I have no idea why this exists, but